Hey everyone. It's it's been a while, hasn't it? Gosh, why do I feel like I'm ripping off Corey X Kenshin's return video title when I say that? I shoot, Corey. I'm sorry, Corey. I'm sorry. Anyway, I never expected the return to YouTube to be this difficult. It is stunning now that I think about it that I've hesitated for so long to make this video, let alone begin production on videos just in general. Thankfully, though, I've found the reason why I've been so hesitant about coming back, and in this video, I'll explain why I decided to come back, what initially held me back from making this return, and what my plans for the channel are in the future. Now, I do apologize if this video is a lot more casual in nature in terms of the commentary, because I've decided to take just this regular podcast-esque approach instead of reading things directly from a script. Like, obviously, I have the general, points that I want to make, the general points that I want to touch on typed up on the computer here, but I'm not going to read, word for word verbatim from a script for this video. So if the commentary comes off as a lot more casual, that's why, and I'm sorry if you dislike that for one reason or another. But with that being said, let's get into the video. So the latter half of 2019 was a pretty scary time for YouTube. And the main reason why is because of the whole FTC COPPA situation that handled during the latter bit of 2019, during the closing months of 2019. For those of you that need a quick refresh on what happened, basically YouTube was caught red-handed targeting children 12 years older or younger with advertisements by collecting the data that they had on hand from videos and other sources of information. And under the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, or COPPA, it is illegal to do that. You cannot target children with ads. You cannot collect any information that they have from their profile, from what they watch, from anything if they are 12 years older or younger. And basically, YouTube was caught red-handed doing just that. They were caught targeting children with ads, like the ads that you see in the beginning, middle, end of a video, and all that stuff. They were caught red-handed doing that, so the Federal Trade Commission came in, gave them a huge fine for their violation of the COPPA law, and basically forced YouTube to implement a system that would check the videos that were published on the platform to deem whether or not they were made for kids or whether they were made for those 13 years old and older. And this caused such a huge scare on YouTube. I was among the people who thought that this was going to be, if not the end, then the rapid decline at the very least of YouTube, because a lot of people were concerned about the consequences of the video being mismarked. Like, for example, if you posted a video on the platform and you targeted and your intended audience was for those age 13 plus, but whether through a manual reviewer or YouTube's machine-based learning system, if they or that machine deemed the video as for kids, a lot of people were scared that when their video got manually switched over to being targeted as for kids, because you marked your video as not for kids in the first place, the FTC would come after you with a $42,500 fine for miscategorizing that video. And the bigger thing that was scary was that fine was on a per video basis, not just in general. So a lot of people were wondering about however many older videos that they had published up until that point. If, say, 5 different videos were switched to made for kids by a manual reviewer, YouTube's machine learning based system, or both, then that $42,500 fine would be multiplied by 5, which I'm not good at large number math, so editing me, do some math. It's pretty basic. It's just multiplication. You went to 3rd grade, right? I hope I did. But basically, it would result in a large, really large fine. If $42,500 wasn't big enough, it would increase exponentially because of it being on a per video basis instead of just an in general kind of thing. So this resulted in a lot of people wondering what should they do, because I remember people were wondering if they should just start cursing a lot at the beginning of their videos, which ended up being confirmed that that wouldn't really work, or like periodically cursing throughout the video, or if they should make their or if they should intentionally mark some of their videos as for kids, just so that on the off chance that video would have otherwise been deemed as for kids by the machine-based learning system and or a manual reviewer, they would be in the clear, they wouldn't get the fine. And just all sorts of different measures. Of course, I was among the I actually don't know how many people went for the nuclear option, but I went for the, at least I personally went for the nuclear option of clearing everything that I had on my channel, and I ended up taking a break. I ended up going on a hiatus because of that. And it primarily served to see what the consequences of COPPA was, like what would have happened, and if the consequences weren't as severe, then I figured, okay, if the consequences aren't that bad, or if the whole situation isn't as bad as we all think it's going to be somehow, then I'll go ahead and make a return at some point, and lo and behold, that's one of the reasons why I'm coming back to the platform. The first reason, as I said, was the whole YouTube COPPA thing. It ended up being a little bit less damaging than what 90% of YouTube was anticipating. Keep in mind, I said a little less damaging. We're not getting huge $42,500 fines from the Federal Trade Commission, but what is happening is that now YouTubers have to take into account a massive decrease in their income. They've been getting a lot less money compared to pre-COPPA law scenario kind of thing. Especially for those that have relied on YouTube as their primary source of income for the past while, they have all been particularly hit hard. This has been particularly damaging to them. However, I personally don't have enough page views or subscribers to even apply to get monetization from videos, nor do I really even intend to, just because it seems the monetization system for YouTube is really weird nowadays. A bunch of things are changing, and I now have to take into account I can't make the video too kid-friendly, otherwise it'll get deemed as such, but at the same time, I can't include too much violence or gore or any cursing or any trigger words on YouTube that would send me to demonetization land. So I have to find like a really weird balance and all that. So it's just a whole mess of a system that if I, for one reason or another, wanted to do monetization for YouTube, like if this ends up being more successful than I think it'll be, like if I can make a profit from it, I don't know how successful I would be on YouTube's part, just in general. Like, I would probably, like, if it ever got to that point, if I ever reached a level of subscribers and viewerships for me to be able to make it work, I would probably just do something like Patreon to make up for any funds that would be lacking on the YouTube side. Just because even if I end up getting accepted into the partnership program, I think it is, that allows you to get monetized from your videos, more than likely I would not get terribly much money. Like, I would get some spending money, like I would get some side money, essentially. Like, I don't intend to have YouTube be my primary source of income anyway. Secondary source of income, maybe, if I can make it work. But even then, I'm only at 200-something subscribers right now, and I have nowhere near the requirements to get to the YouTube partnership program right now, let alone get enough money to make any sort of comfortable living from it in the first place. So monetization is currently not on my mind, but if I do end up getting a fair amount of subscribers, if I start getting views and likes and all that, then the possibility of monetization will come into play. But for now, it's more of just a side hobby kind of thing right now. So that's basically the situation on the YouTube front with COPPA and like the whole monetization deal, pretty much. I kind of went on a bit of a tangent there, and I'm sorry about that. But like I said, I'm aiming for more of a casual approach to this whole thing. So, so yeah, it sounds like I'm going on a bit of a tangent, and I more than likely am. I'm sorry, but I'm just kind of speaking what I have on my mind right now, and that's what's on my mind in terms of monetization for YouTube and the whole COPPA situation. So the first reason why I came back is because Kappa wasn't as damaging as I thought, in the sense of we're not seeing people get fined $42,500, and we're not seeing a large, global. That's not the right word to use. We're not seeing a large scale like attack on videos being manually switched over to for kids and all that jazz. And we would have more than likely, if not just guaranteed, we would have seen this on the news if it was a big issue. It would have like made headlines. There would be a lot more videos talking about it and all that. And I think if my memory serves me right, I don't even think that that like if you Google like FTC and Kappa, I don't even think that it's I don't even think there's anything from this year. Like maybe early 2020, like January of 2020, I think was the latest article that I saw in regards to YouTube and Kappa and everything. But a lot of the stuff is just from late 2019 about the initial worries and concerns of YouTube and like overviews of the COPPA Act, since that was when a lot of people had to be educated on what the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act was, what it exactly did, and all that stuff. So, yeah, and don't get me wrong, I want to reiterate this. It's not like YouTube got away completely scot-free. The platform did suffer some pretty heavy damage from the decrease in the income that a lot of YouTubers would be getting, especially for people that viewed YouTube as their job, like as their primary job, uploading daily and all that stuff. I can't imagine how hard they were hit from this scenario. But just for me personally, I was not hit as hard. So that's another reason why, I got incentive to come back. But just because I am not among the most affected group doesn't mean that I'm ignorant to what COPPA, the updated COPPA rules, did to a lot of other YouTubers. Alright, so now on to the second reason. And after looking at both of the big reasons why I was so hesitant on coming back, this is without a doubt the biggest reason why I was so hesitant to come back. And to give you an idea on how hesitant I was to come back, I initially made the comeback video in mid-March of this year, but I never posted it. Like, I made the video, I exported it from the video editing software that I use, and it just sat there in the videos section in the file explorer. I just never got around to posting it. Then I tried again in early April, but I could not even bring myself to export the video from the editing software that time. And now here we are in July. I didn't even consider making videos for May, and the thought only crossed my mind again in very late June. And the big reason why was just because it was a mixture of just not feeling the energy whenever I would, plug everything in, get the microphone, get the Blue Yeti microphone flipped on, open up the editing software, and starting to speak into the microphone. I just wouldn't feel that. And another reason is because I was concerned about what my uploading schedule would be. Now, granted, I did not have a consistent uploading schedule back when I was posting videos a couple years ago. I didn't have. It's not like I'm making myself out to be this perfect YouTuber who had a consistent uploading schedule. But I would definitely say that compared to the uploading schedule that I have in the works right now, I would post a lot more frequently. Then again, I don't know if anything would change or if the schedule ends up being more flexible than I think it is in my head. So this could age pretty poorly. This section of the video could age pretty poorly if someone were to look back on this in a couple months' time. But that was the biggest reason for why I was hesitant, because I wasn't sure if I would be able to make time for myself and the other commitments that I would be experiencing. Things such as classes, work, and just simply having time to myself to relax and chill out and have that mental break in the day. and all that without YouTube breathing down my neck. That's the biggest reason why I was hesitant to come back, because I didn't want to turn what I currently view as more of a side hobby than anything into a drag that has a massive impact on my schedule. I sort of locked myself into this mentality that, okay, if you're going to come back to YouTube, you absolutely have to make yourself consistent. You absolutely have to post videos as frequently as you can. You absolutely have to stay, up to date, current topic, blah, blah, blah. You absolutely have to remain committed to this. And there is absolutely no back door for you if you wanted to quit it out. Like, basically, I saw the return to YouTube as an official, legal document that once I published this video, I would essentially be signing on a dotted line. I, ZomBMan 101, promise to never leave YouTube again, even if things start going sideways when it comes to posting stuff on YouTube. I basically locked myself into that mentality, and that's the main reason why I was hesitant to come back in the first place, because I was trapped in that mindset for a pretty fair amount of time. Because as I said, I initially made the comeback video in mid-March, so for a couple months I was locked into this mindset. And it was only a couple of days ago that I figured out a flexible work schedule that meant that I could do YouTube as a side hustle, as a side hobby kind of gig, while also making sure that I had time to remain committed to my classes, work, and just free time in general when I had it. But also, I was finally able to convince myself, hey, if this does end up being more detrimental to your schedule than it does helping, like if you are actively dreading opening up the editing software, if you are dreading hitting that upload button, if you are dreading, typing up the script, basically if you are dreading the whole process of making videos, it's perfectly normal to throw in the towel and quit. Because why should you do something that you hate? So previously, I locked myself into the mindset of, even if you hate it, if you're going to start doing this again, you got to do it. But I now see YouTube as a side hustle, and I finally allowed myself to think in the mindset of, if this ends up being more detrimental, if, you find yourself taking more, time to yourself that could have been spent on YouTube stuff, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because I would be giving myself the mental break that I would need, especially if I had a really crazy busy day or really crazy busy week. And so as part of the uploading schedule, I have myself a back door. Now, a lot of you are probably thinking right now, why are you giving yourself a back door? I'm not even sure that I want to subscribe to you now if you're already thinking about the possibility of quitting. Do I want to quit? Absolutely not. I do not want to abandon making videos for YouTube again. Besides, the whole reason why I took the initial hiatus wasn't because I thought YouTube as a drag. It was because I was scared of receiving a $42,500 lawsuit for a miscategorized video from the Federal Trade Commission. Now, though, because my life is getting more and more busy and more crazy by the day, by the day, by the week, I would say so, now it becomes a matter of, if I am going to do YouTube, how am I going to do it so that I don't overwork myself to death? And I don't want to reach that point of overworking myself to death. At the same time, though, I also don't want to view that back door and immediately go, all right, you know what? Nope, we are getting the heck out of here. I don't want to run with my tail between my legs at the first sight of any sort of trouble. I'm not going to immediately go, hey guys, I'm leaving again at the first minor inconvenience. I'm not going to do that. But if it consistently becomes an issue, if I go 2-3 weeks, a month, month and a half, 2 months of constantly viewing YouTube as a drag, not really enjoying the editing process, not really enjoying making videos in general, then by that point, because I've had a good amount of time to see that, okay, I'm not enjoying this as much as I thought I would. Plus, I have to make time for commitments, such as classes, work, and of course, I also have to take care of myself mentally by giving myself a mental break from a busy day, busy week, whatever it may be. So by that point, I will know that this whole YouTube thing isn't going to work out given my current schedule. So the back door is there, but I'm not peeking back at it. The only time I'm going to peek back at it is after that month and a half, 2-month time period of me consistently not enjoying it. If I do end up figuring out that this whole thing isn't for me. What I'm hoping for and what I'm betting on, what I'm counting on, is that I will be able to enjoy this process. I will be able to enjoy making videos on the side. And if by the off chance, granted, I'm saying the word off chance because it's pretty difficult to climb up from the YouTube graveyard of like 200 or like the hundreds number subscribers with like 15 likes and 1 to 2 dislikes on your videos. It's pretty difficult to climb out from there. So unless if I score really big and really lucky, it's going to be more of a side hobby kind of thing. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to leave the possibility of it being a side job in the dust, but what I'm saying is that it's probably not going to be as big of a side job as I think it is if I am even able to make it to 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours of watch time, and whatever other requirements it is to apply and get accepted by the YouTube Partnership Program. Coupled with the fact of my predicted uploading schedule that I have, I don't know how consistent I would be and everything. And I don't know how many videos I would have in general. So that's pretty much what I got going on. So back to the point of making time for myself to make videos. So all of the factors that I listed, wanting to make sure that I had enough time to manage other commitments, such as classes, work, and give myself the mental break that I need in the day, in the week, whenever, coupled with the fact that I want to get videos out on at least a semi-consistent basis, if not a consistent basis, meant that I had to create a schedule that revolves around what I have going on in the day. I'm not in a position where I can plan my events based on set recording and uploading times for videos. I'm in the more common position of having to decide when I want to record, when I want to edit, and all that based on other events that I have in the day. So I knew right off the bat that I would not be able to upload daily. Daily uploads is just not a possibility. And pretty much anyone who uploads daily views YouTube as their job, basically. They're the ones that view YouTube as their primary source of income and all. But at the same time, I need to balance the frequency that I post along with the quality of the videos if I'm not going to be uploading daily and if I'm not going to be uploading as frequently as like more of the popular YouTubers and everything. So it comes down to an issue of quality versus quantity, pretty much. So what exactly, what content will I be making and what kind of uploading schedule will I have? My content is going to be primarily, if not exclusively, gaming content, but more so on the analytical / in-depth side. What I mean by this is rather than doing the common Let's Play or series of games, I'll instead be doing more in-depth videos on video games. What makes a specific video game unique, a specific thing such as a mechanic or mode in a video game, a game's deviation from its series' usual formula, or even just a simple video game review, to name a couple of ideas. Due to the fact that these videos are going to need much more time in terms of capturing the footage, doing any potential research depending on the topic, editing, all of that, the frequency at which I'll be posting will be scaled down, as I stated earlier. I unfortunately cannot give any amount of videos per week or per month that I will be able to upload, just because I don't want to say something and then life be a lot more hectic than I originally thought, and then find myself in a position where I feel like I lied to you all, and I don't want to do that. So I can't say for sure how many videos per week or per month that I will be posting. I'll try to do as many as I can, but think of more so in the single digits range per month. So I'm not going to be able to do daily uploads. I won't be able to do 30-something, 20-something, like maybe something in the low teens if I have like a really good month with a lot of free time. But if you're going to place your bets anywhere, place those bets on a single digit amount of videos per month. So that's pretty much what I've got going on in terms of what kind of content I'm making and the uploading schedule around it and everything. And I'm intentionally doing this because I have to place my YouTube schedule, my YouTube side, life and everything around what I have going on in my primary life, what I have going on for classes, for work, and for the mental free time that I obviously need, because I'm not a robot. If I were a robot, I would be doing a ton more videos and a ton more editing and all that, but as a human being, I have my limits, and I don't want to push myself past those limits, have like a mental breakdown, and then spend the next 2 to 3 weeks recovering from that, and I don't want to have to go through that whole mess of a process and everything. So that's why I'm predicting single-digit number in terms of uploads per month, and, just so that I don't have YouTube breathing down my neck and taking control of my life, when in comparison, I will more than likely have a lot more important issues and matters to take care of on a consistent basis than YouTube. And with that being said, that is about it. I actually did not expect the video to be this long. I was thinking maybe the video was going to be in something like the mid-teens in terms of video length. I was thinking maybe 15, 16 minutes, but here we are in the mid to high 20s in terms of minutes for the video. I did not expect it to go this long. So I'm sorry if that was kind of a bit of a drag for you. I can perfectly understand if you just put this video on as background noise. Like I said, it's more of a podcast-esque kind of video with just whatever I decide to put up as background gameplay and my voice and everything. So I'm sorry if it came off as a bit more of a drag than anything. So it's a bit more larger / grandiose in terms of time for the video, but in terms of editing or hey, I'm back, kind of celebratory mood, that isn't grandiose in nature, because like I said earlier, I only have 200-something subscribers as of this video, so it would probably be a waste of time to dedicate so much editing to get little, if any, gain. And I just didn't really even see the need for it to be, just because of the low subscriber count. And because a lot of people are going to view this as their first video. Well, not a lot of people, but the majority of the people who see this video. Of course, there are going to be the people who look at this video and will go, yay, he's back. Or, almost said the F word. And that F word was fun, because apparently in 2020 we can't have any of that. Or a lot of people will be like, fun, he's back. Or however, you react. If you were watching my videos from a little while, I have no idea how you're going to react. More than likely, you probably just went, oh, well, that's cool. You didn't make a big event out of it, more than likely. Oh, here I go with the self-deprecation already. Good golly Lord. Good golly. Is golly even a word? I don't even know. I'm starting to go off rails. I'm starting to get a little tired here from the constant recording. Well, not constant, but just long recording session. So there you have it. That is the main reason why I decided to come back. That is what I have planned for the channel, and that is what I have just for this video in general. So, with all of that being said, if you made it to the end of this video, this is probably going to sound weird for a comeback video / first video for a lot of you who view this, but you are truly awesome for making it through to the end if you did. You are one of the MVPs today. If you think of yourself as something lower than an MVP, nah, you gotta have more self-love and respect for yourself. You are an MVP for making it through to the end of this video. So, with that being said, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, which is kind of a weird thing to say now that I think about it for a return video of all things. If you did, make sure to leave a like, drop a comment, and if the idea of more in-depth or analytical video game videos sounds like something that you are interested in, feel free to hit the subscribe button, and be sure to click that bell icon to receive all notifications for future uploads that will come across this channel. And until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and peace out.